Imagine connecting with someone online who seems perfect. They understand you. They compliment you. They become your confidant. Now imagine discovering everything was a lie, a carefully constructed fiction designed to empty your bank account and shatter your emotional world. This isn't just a story about crime. This is a story about international betrayal, about criminal networks spanning continents, about psychological warfare waged through our screens. And tonight, we're going behind the headlines of one of the largest cybercrime takedowns in African history. An operation that arrested 260 suspects across 14 countries and exposed a multi-million-dollar fraud industry. Right now, as you watch this video, there's a hidden war being fought in the digital shadows. Law enforcement agencies across the globe are tracking sophisticated criminal networks who prey on our most vulnerable emotions. Today, we are bringing you the exclusive inside story of Operation Contender 3.0, a coordinated international sting that struck at the heart of Africa's cybercrime underworld. Over the next 25 minutes, we'll reveal how these criminal networks operated with chilling efficiency, the devastating emotional and financial toll on thousands of victims worldwide, the breakthrough investigative techniques that led to their downfall, and why experts warn this is just the beginning of a growing global threat. This isn't just news. This is your wake-up call to the digital danger lurking behind every screen. Stay with us. Operation Contender 3.0 wasn't a random police action. It was a surgical strike, carefully planned and executed across 14 African nations simultaneously. From the western coast of Senegal to the eastern nations of Kenya and Uganda, law enforcement moved in coordinated precision. The numbers are staggering, but they don't tell the full human story. Behind each statistic lies a person who trusted, who loved, who hoped, only to be systematically manipulated and financially destroyed. The booty seized tells its own story. 1,235 electronic devices, USB drives filled with victim data, SIM cards used to create untraceable identities, and forged documents that helped create convincing fake personalities. Investigators didn't just arrest suspects. They dismantled the very infrastructure of deception. They identified IP addresses, took down 81 cybercrime infrastructures, and traced the digital footprints back to the source. This was cyber investigation at its most advanced. As Cyril Goot, acting executive director of police services at Interpol, starkly warned, cybercrime units across Africa are reporting a sharp rise in digital-enabled crimes such as sextortion and romance scams. The growth of online platforms has opened new opportunities for criminal networks to exploit victims, causing both financial loss and psychological harm. The romance scam is a psychological masterpiece of manipulation. It begins with a simple friend request or message. The profile is perfect, attractive, successful, caring. The conversation starts innocently, then grows increasingly intimate. They share stories, dreams, vulnerabilities. Once emotional dependency is established, the financial traps are set. Suddenly there's a medical emergency, a business opportunity, a travel crisis. The requests start small, a few $100s, then escalate to thousands. The victim, now emotionally invested, continues paying, thinking they're helping someone they love. But there's an even more sinister variation: sextortion. Here, criminals initiate explicit conversations or video calls, secretly recording compromising content. Then comes the devastating ultimatum: pay up, or we send this to your family, your employer, everyone you know. We have your contact list. Pay $5,000 or we send this video to your entire family. Your career will be over by morning unless you transfer the money now. The fear and shame this generates makes victims comply, often repeatedly.
And who were the targets? As Interpol's Neil Jetton revealed, while people of all ages fall victim, older individuals are particularly vulnerable. People who may be lonely, who may be less technologically savvy, who crave connection in an increasingly disconnected world. This massive operation had a powerful backer, the United Kingdom's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, which funded the African Joint Operation Against Cybercrime Project. This demonstrates how cybercrime has become an international priority requiring global resources. But perhaps the most innovative aspect was the unprecedented collaboration between law enforcement and private cybersecurity giants. Companies like Group IB and Trend Micro provided critical intelligence, technical expertise, and enhanced data-sharing capabilities that gave investigators the edge they needed. Through Interpol's cyber activity reports, information flowed seamlessly across borders, enabling police in Senegal to act on intelligence gathered in Ghana and authorities in Kenya to pursue leads identified in South Africa. This was 21st century crime fighting at its finest. But to truly understand the scale of this operation, we need to look country by country, where the devil and the drama is in the details. Table Operation Contender 3.0 Country Breakdown. Country: arrests, key seizures, victims, financial impact. Ghana: 68 suspects, 835 devices, 108 victims, $450,000 lost, $70,000 recovered. Senegal: 22 suspects, 65 devices and forged IDs, 120 victims, $34,000 stolen. Côte d'Ivoire: 24 suspects, 29 devices, 809 victims, not specified. Angola: 8 suspects, not specified. 28 domestic and international victims, not specified. In Ghana, where the largest number of arrests occurred, the schemes were particularly elaborate. Scammers invented fake courier services and bogus customs fees to extract payments. They'd tell victims they'd received expensive gifts or inheritance, then demand increasing shipping fees and customs charges until the victims were drained dry. In Senegal, criminals took a different approach. They impersonated celebrities, creating fake social media profiles of famous actors, musicians, and influencers. They then use emotional manipulation on dating platforms to defraud fans who dreamed of connecting with their idols. Meanwhile, in Ivory Coast, authorities dismantled one of the most vicious schemes, a cybercrime ring that specifically targeted vulnerable individuals, manipulating them into sharing intimate images, then holding those images for ransom. The psychological terror inflicted here is almost imaginable. From north to south, east to west, this operation proved that cybercrime has no borders, but neither does justice when international cooperation reaches this level of sophistication and coordination. But Operation Contender 3.0 was just one battle in a much larger war. Just months earlier, Interpol's Operation Red Card saw 306 suspects arrested across 7 African countries targeting mobile banking and investment scams. And in an even more massive operation, Operation Serengeti 2.0, authorities achieved almost unimaginable results. 1,209 cyber criminals arrested, nearly $100 million recovered, and over 11,000 malicious infrastructures dismantled. In Zambia alone, authorities identified a staggering 65,000 victims of an online investment fraud scheme with an estimated losses of $300 million. The scale is almost incomprehensible. And the long arm of justice extends beyond Africa's borders. Remember Nigerian fraudster Abiola Kayode on the FBI's most wanted list, captured in Ghana and extradited to the U.S. for a $6 million business email compromise scheme that targeted multinational companies. His accomplices have already faced justice, with sentences ranging from 4 to 8 years in prison. A clear message that international borders won't protect these cybercriminals anymore. So what have we learned from this dramatic takedown? That cybercrime in Africa is sophisticated, organized, and devastatingly effective. But we've also learned that international cooperation can strike back powerfully. As Valdisi Urskica, Secretary General of Interpol, emphasized, each Interpol coordinated operation builds on the last, deepening cooperation, increasing information sharing, and developing investigative skills across member countries. This global network is stronger than ever, delivering real outcomes and safeguarding victims. But the battle isn't just for law enforcement, it's for every one of us. Be skeptical of online relationships that quickly turn financial.
Never share compromising images with people you haven't met in person. Verify identities through video calls. And remember, if an online opportunity seems too good to be true, it almost certainly is. The digital world has given us incredible opportunities for connection, but it's also created new vulnerabilities. Operations like Contender 3.0 prove that while the criminals may be innovative, our global response is becoming equally sophisticated, equally determined, and equally powerful. If you found this investigation revealing, if you want to stay informed about the hidden wars being fought in our digital world, then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are committed to bringing you the hardest-hitting investigative content, exposing the truths that matter in our increasingly connected world. Join us next time when we dive even deeper into the digital underworld. Until then, stay safe, stay skeptical, and stay informed.